So a few weeks ago, we did the Senko battle between the CURADO K and the TATULA CT Type R. Now, while the results were okay, they were kind of disappointing in the fact that they were beaten by several cheaper reels that had a lot heavier spools. So if you guys watched that video, you'll know that I found something interesting about different colored Senkos, and the Senkos I was using for the CURADO and TATULA test were lighter than the ones I was using for everyone else. So what I did was I went and retested these two on the very same day that I did the TATULA SV and the CURADO 70. But some of the footage was messed up, so I wasn't able to put that on video or upload it for you guys. But I did let you vote to see if you wanted me to upload that footage or do a big four-way Senko battle. And of course the unanimous vote was to do the four-way Senko battle. But since then I have of course received the 13 Fishing Concept Z, so I decided to make it a five-way Senko battle. So this is a very interesting battle in the fact that these are 5 reels that kind of occupy roughly the same price point, the $180 to $200 price range, and they all have different characteristics. The Concept Z has the smallest spool at 32 millimeters, and then the REVO STX has a 33 millimeter spool. These two have 34 millimeter spools, and the LEWS BB1 Pro has a big heavy 35 millimeter spool that holds the most line. Now before we get out on the field, I'm going to take this time to weigh these spools filled with line. Now let's start out with the DAIWA TATULA CT Type R, and this has no bearing, and the weight on that is 25.8 grams filled with 10-pound mono. Now the REVO STX does have a bearing, but it does have a short spool shaft as well, and this weighs 28.2 grams. Reweigh this. Okay, so next up is the Concept Z, and it's got a bushing, and I actually weighed this bushing, and it weighs a little bit over half a gram. So filled with line, this Concept Z spool, you're looking at 27.3 with the bushing. Okay, up next is the CURADO K. It's probably got the second biggest line capacity, and this weighs in at 28.3. Okay, now the LEWS BB1 Pro does have a bearing on it as well, and this weighs in at, whoa, a whopping 36 grams, so probably about 34.5 if you took the bearing off, and this would probably weigh about 26.5 if you took the bearing off. So you're looking at the lightest spools in the TATULA, REVO, and the Concept Z, so that should kind of give us the idea of who may come out on top in this test. But there's only one way to find out. Okay, first up we have the DAIWA TATULA CT Type R. I have spool tension just to minimize the side-to-side play, and the external dial is on 8, and I may go down to 7. Here we go. .131 feet 1 inch. .131 feet 5 inches. 131 feet 5 inches. $123 feet 1 inch. $132 feet 3 inches. Okay, so up next we have the GARCIA REVO STX. I have spool tension set to just minimize the side-to-side play. I have been able to go down to 2 brakes on inside, and the external dial is set pretty much to the maximum position. And of course we have the pink Senko. So let's go. Oh shit. 128 feet 5 inches. Damn. 138 feet 1 inch. Under 24 feet 1 inch. Under 18 feet 10 inches. $128 feet 7 inches. Okay, I have the 13 Fishing Concept Z. I set the spool tension to where when the lure hits the ground, there's a little bit of an overrun. And the internal brakes are set to 1. So here we go. $129 feet 4 inches. $114 feet 4 inches. $117 feet 8 inches. Damn. 132 feet 4 inches. $123 feet even. Okay, so we got the LEWS BB1 Pro. I have spool tension set just to minimize the side-to-side play, and the external dial is set to 7. So here we go. Damn. 135 feet 8 inches. Shit. 129 feet 5 inches. $114 feet 3 inches. 126 feet even. $130.06. Okay, we have the Shimano CURADO K. Last but not least, I have spool tension set to just minimize the side-to-side play. I have 3 brakes on inside, and the external dial is set to 2, somewhere around there. So let's go. $125 feet 2 inches. $127 feet 5 inches. $128 feet 6 inches. $124 feet 7 inches. $130 feet 8 inches. Okay, so back from the field, and let's get to these results. Now, when I'm out on the field, I'm just recording results. I really don't know who wins until I actually do the math. So when I got home, I was in for a surprise, I should say. Now, let's get to the results. Now, coming in last place is the 13 Fishing Concept Z, and the Concept Z averaged 123.4 feet. And in the grand scheme of things, that's a really good distance to be throwing a weightless Senko. That's about 41 yards. But in this company of stiff competition, that's only good enough for last place. More on the Concept Z later. Okay, so coming in at a shock 4th place is the LEWS BB1 Pro. Now the BB1 Pro I thought was going to come in last place, to be honest, because it has such a big heavy spool that holds the most line. But I believe that tall spool as well as the adjustable brakes paid dividends for the BB1 Pro, as it averaged 127.2 feet. Okay, coming in a shock 3rd place is the Shimano CURADO K with an average of 127.4 feet. Now, no real big surprises with the CURADO. It did not hit the longest cast, but it was really consistent, as you can see by the numbers. Okay, so finally we have 2nd place, and we get to the GARCIA REVO STX Generation 4. Now this hit an average of 127.6 feet. Of course has a really light spool, as we measured, and really fine-tunable brakes that allowed it to hit the longest cast in recording. I think it was like 138 feet or whatnot. So that helped it propel it to a very respectable 2nd place over favorites like the CURADO K and the Concept Z. Now of course that leaves us to the winner, and it shows us that light spools pay dividends when it comes to lighter weights. That's the DAIWA TATULA CT Type R. Now it didn't hit the longest cast in practice or on video, but as you can see by the numbers, it was just so consistent. hitting around the same average every single time except for like one cast. So there we go, the DAIWA TATULA CT Type R takes the victory in the big 5-way $180 to $200 reel shootout with the weightless Senko. Okay, now as far as the CURADO K versus the TATULA Type R. Now the second time around I did the test, the Type R averaged 132.6 feet, while the CURADO K averaged 128 feet even. So these reels have went head to head, throwing the weightless Senko 3 times, and all 3 times the TATULA Type R came out ahead. So I guess it's safe to say that when throwing a weightless Senko, the Type R is going to beat the CURADO K 9 times out of 10. Alright, so let's get to some observations and notes that I took. Okay, so regarding the Concept Z, now of course I said in another video that this reel really needs a up-to-date braking system. This braking system that it has is about 10 years behind everyone else. It needs something that's more adjustable and has more fine-tuning to take advantage of the alleged advantages given by these bushings, which is still yet to prove itself. And another thing is that this reel is allegedly very sensitive to spool tension adjustments, but the gap in between clicks is so big, as you can see there, that it's better off not having any clicks at all, because from one click to the other could mean too loose or too tight. So either make the clicks closer together or just eliminate the clicker altogether. Okay, so as far as casting, I did start to notice on some cast towards the tail end or the latter half of the cast, kind of like a whirring, buzzing noise. Now I don't remember if it shook the reel or not, but it reminded me a lot of when the CURADO I or SPS Infinity reels of that nature needed oiling on the brake pipe. That's exactly what it reminded me of. So I wonder if this brass ring here needs some kind of oil. So I'll be sure to do that before I put it through its next test. Okay, now no other real notes other than I'm really surprised how well the BB1 Pro did. As you can see by the numbers, the gap between 4th and 2nd place was really nothing at all. They were pretty even. I think 0.4 feet separated these 3 reels. Now the CURADO K. Now this was the reel that was last as far as the testing. And having casted out these reels several times and then coming from the BB1 Pro to the CURADO K, it just really reminded me of just how smooth and refined and comfortable this reel is. It's really head and shoulders above these other reels in that respect, especially these knobs. These knobs have got to be, as far as shape and feel, the most comfortable knobs I've ever used. And you CURADO K owners probably know exactly what I mean. Alright guys, there we go. The winner of the big 5-way Senko shootout is the DAIWA TATULA CT Type R with its really light spool. Okay guys, thanks a lot.